Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today it looks something a little different for today. We will be talking about two particular action figures that not only did I grow up with, from the early 2000s, but also just talk about these and make a sort of direct message to Hasbro that that hopefully they can get around to remaking these versions of these certain characters, because I think it's been a while since we've had these versions for these characters, and it would just be great to see them again, especially because these figures they're very old, but I feel like they still hold up. They still look amazing, but some of the articulation is outdated. But I guess that's enough talking from me. You guys actually want to see what I'm talking about, and you may or may not hear a chicken or rooster in the background. It's already 12, so I don't know why he's screaming out there, but he is. Without further ado, we have World War II Captain America here, and then we also have Bucky Barnes here in his sidekick sort of outfit, which I think is a very underrated figure and design or character interpretation. I don't know how to make them both hopefully very in focus. Yeah, these are the two figures I'm gonna be talking about today, and I think I'm gonna start with Bucky, who is the sidekick for Captain America, or at least I always saw it that way. You had Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, you had Batman and Robin. In the MCU now it's Iron Man and Spider-Man, but Iron Man's dead now, so I don't know what other comparisons I can make, but starting with Bucky here, I believe he was part of the Brood Build-A-Figure wave back when Hasbro, I think, had just started getting the license for Marvel Legends, and they were making the action figures at that point. But yeah, this is one of our very early figures that my brother and I were able to, get. And I will say, I think he's held up for the most part. I mean, for some reason, he feels very sticky. I don't know where he's been. I don't know why he feels sticky. It's been in storage of his whole time, so I really don't know why. It's mostly down here at the thighs. It feels very yucky and gross, but I swear we did nothing to the figure. I don't know why it is, but I think, yeah, this design doesn't get a lot of recognition, and I think you can see how floppy the arms are, but I don't know, I really do like this design because it's just very comic booky, compared to what we got in the MCU and what he later becomes, the Winter Soldier, which I still want to get that comic book version Winter Soldier. But I think for the time, this is a pretty good action figure. I mean, I don't know, that's just me, maybe a hot take, but we had your hinge up so he can look up pretty well. Down, not so much. I mean, he has a pretty wide neck in there, but he can turn side to side, and that's about it. Arms could go out about that much. They can rotate, obviously. Bicep swivel there. You had double jointed arms. No cut there, but it's early Marvel Legends, so they had these weird wrist hinges and finger hinges. He could arc forward and back. He had the waist swivel there. at these sort of hinged hips here. So you have to hinge back, rotate, and then you can kick out. Which for the time it worked, but like I said, we have new articulation that we can use for a new Bucky. You had upper thigh cut there, double jointed knees, which are a little stuck, but yeah, some good range there. You have the boot cut there, hinges at the feet, and then you do have ankle pivot, and then toe hinges. Look at that. We had that way back then, and then Marvel Legends team downgraded, and then we're slowly getting those toe hinges back with Spider-Man figures. I just think this was a good looking Bucky, good action figure. I like the colors, the red and the blue. Maybe a different shade of red would have been cool too, but this is great, And then we had the star, which ours is kind of faded. You have the sort of rivets that go across. You have his collar there. And then the sculpting for the pouches at the time was amazing to me. It's so much detail. And now I think we have better sculpted, pouches and stuff. But for the time, this was just amazing. And then you have the face sculpt there, which the mask, not too bad. There is some black bleeding in that right eye, but for the most part, he looked great. The hair has some wear, where we played a lot with him. Yeah, I think it's time for a redo for this version of Bucky. Yeah, we love the Winter Soldier and what he became. With that cool looking assassin outfit as the Winter Soldier, but I think we need an update for this particular version of Bucky. Like I said, I just love this design. I don't know why. I just do, and he's still up on my shelf on display. But yeah, I just like how it looks, and hopefully Marvel Legends team will get to this version of him at some point. I would definitely buy a new one in order to replace this old version of him. But for the time being, I mean, he still looks pretty good in my opinion. So with that being said, we're gonna move him out of the way, and we're gonna take a look at this Captain America, which I believe was based off on the animated movie, The Avengers, that came out also in the early 2000s. And yeah, he's covered in dust. We don't really he's up in the shelf, or one of the shelves, but I don't really move him around, simply because we did have some issues with the waist down here. It sort of broke apart. I was able to sort of glue it back down in there, but yeah, it just sort of broke, and he had been broken down. But I was able to glue it back, and now everything is functional again, so that's pretty neat. Pretty proud of that. But yeah, this is another version of Captain America that I think we need a redo on. Now I get it, it's World War II, not the greatest time period for humanity, but I mean, it's part of the character. That's where he originates from. That's his origin story. He fights the Nazis, he's in World War II, and he just unfortunately freezes, and now he's in the modern world. This figure just had everything you needed. You had your Tommy gun or Thompson machine gun here. Kind of big, in my opinion, but it worked, and it was pretty neat having this toy as a kid. But you see like the wood grain there that kind of tried to give it an effect of some kind. But yeah, pretty simple mold there. You had a 1911 pistol, which I think this also seems a little too big. I know we have new molds of this with the newer Marvel Legend figures, but for the time, again, just a lot of detail in the handle. Looks very, very cool. So yeah, we had that, and then we had the shield, which of course you could remove from his hands. This is probably was the easiest way. I'm already ripping the top one. I'm gonna leave it on there because I saw this tearing already. he's worn down, but yeah, we this one ripped too, so that's a bit of a bummer there. But yeah, just look at that shield with the stars. Again, this is very iconic to me. I just like this design of a shield. It's the first one. Very, very nostalgic shield. So hopefully, you know, once they redo this version, we get that same shield. And then you had just removable, this harness was removable, so you can just take it off if you don't want it. And this thing was sculpted very well and detailed very well. The pouches, you have some painted buckles, you have the water canteen on the back here, and you have a knife sculpted on there. Very, very cool harness, you know, and I don't think we have ever seen this again in Marvel Legends. I don't know if this was Marvel Legends, like under the Marvel Legends name. I'm pretty sure it was, but he came in a 2-pack with, I think it was the first African American or Black Nick Fury figure at the time. And that figure is, I don't know where that is. I think we just have it stored away. I'm not gonna try and look for it, but I'll try to find an image and put it here. But he came with Nick Fury, and Nick Fury came with a bunch of weapons and stuff, which was pretty cool. But yeah, the shield just went on there again. We have the straps, not that stupid clip, and I dropped the helmet. But yeah, the helmet was also removable. I like the straps, you know, like a typical military helmet with the A on it. I'm pretty sure it was much cleaner right out of the box, but now it looks wore down, which kind of works, you know, for him being a military guy and he's out in battle. But you have the red and white stripes, you have the buttons painted, the star there in the center, you have the World War II type shoes or boots. We have there the rivets, very cool sculpting. No ankle pivot for this guy, but you do have the hinge and swivel. You had double jointed knees there, not as much as Bucky. No boot rotation. Yeah, the rotation was down here at the foot. You have your upper thigh cut, and then again, this old system of articulation. You go out, twist it and turn, and then you can kick forward. You had your waist swivel. Again, ours broke from that area. Crunch forward, crunch back. Your arms went out about that much. Bicep swivel. And then, yeah, this figure hasn't been used in a hot minute, but double jointed arms, as you can see there. This one doesn't get too much range. All the range is basically on this one. And then both your hands were hinges in and out. And then his head, I believe, was just a ball joint in there. So not a lot of up or down. You can get side to side and some slight pivoting. But yeah, just the neck area is very short. Very small head to body ratio. But I don't know. I think it still kind of fits. I don't know. Once you add the helmet, his head looks a little bigger in my opinion. But yeah, just looking at the head sculpt here, looks very cool. Some paint has rubbed off the nose there. The teeth in there look very nice, you know, sort of kind of bloodied, dirty teeth in there, so that's pretty cool. You have the eyes, and then this sort of World War II sort of aviator cap, like I don't know what to call it, but yeah, I think he was supposed to have goggles too, so that's what's painted around. They just don't have any lenses, so it looks a little awkward, but yeah, you can see the blue going onto the skin tone there. But yeah, I just think overall this was a great looking Captain America for its time, and I think the Marvel Legends team should try and revisit these old designs and give us some updated versions of them, because I would really appreciate it, especially so that we can replace these older. And I keep dropping that helmet. But as I was saying, hopefully we can get the Marvel Legends team to tackle these designs in order to update and replace our old figures here of these characters in these costumes. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know if you guys owned these two at some point. Again, I still like how they look. Yeah, but that's just my opinion. Hopefully we get updates to them sometime in the future. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in a future video.